right, Phantom Regiment is up next, it looks like. There's a lot going on in this uniform. For the music ensemble specifically, why don't y'all give us a little overview of what we've got going on?
Well, Michael had found and sourced this amazing material. So reflective, it's absolutely gorgeous under the lights. And then just the detail of, it could have been very easy just to put solid strippings in there and whatnot, but Michael wants everything to be totally detailed. So there's even slight ombres on that to, again, give the illusion that the center is coming out of it. This is digressing back and wrapping around the body, which would have automatically gave it a shadow, but that's all built into that printed piece instead of just using a flat piece of white, which would have made it feel flat. Every detail is thought through.
So they have this
hangsie downsy.
Hangsie down? That's the
trademark term.
Yes, worse.
Yeah.
If you ask Michael what it is, he would say that's a hangsie down.
It's a hangsie down.
Yeah. But one of the things that they thought through is they call this, I think John was calling it a fly tag. So this piece actually buttons into the side seam of the pant. They're hanging from those boxes and they're jumping up and down and doing cartwheels and all that. So that it will swing, but it will never fly away. It's always going to be anchored to the pant with 3 or 4 inches of elastic that just snaps right in. And that's the same with this back piece. This is as far as it'll go. It's all snapped in. And
those are the small details that fans would never be able to see.
Yeah, and that's especially because Michael, having come through the activities, for forever.
Right.
He's designed on Broadway. He's done all the things. So knowing that if these kids are doing cartwheels and standing on their heads, this thing can't fall over their neck. And then you look at this and say, well, how do you put it on? Do you slip it over your head? It opens with these clips on the right shoulder.
Oh, okay.
They slip into it that way.
It's so surprising. There's a million different tricks of being able to get into a costume. It doesn't have to be a center back zipper. There's a million different ways so I can get into something.
Yeah, obviously those center back zippers still exist, but there are so many, like you said, different options for snaps and even just one pieces going over that I'm sure makes it a little bit easier for the performer to get in and out of their uniforms at the end of the day.
And a lot of it depends on like John, because Michael can design something and then John will look at that and be, well, if we did this, it would be easier to get into, but it also maintains a flatter look in the back. So there's a lot of different collaboration between the designer and the pattern maker and how those things can work.
They've done Phantom Regiment since the 80s. So that's why I always find it kind of amusing when people say, bring back what we did years ago.
And Michael did that.
He's the same person that's designed these super iconic looks for so many. You think of Phantom Regiment, you think black and white.
And this is just a newer take on it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that color guard uniform that you've got. And there are obviously a couple of different iterations of the color guard uniform on the field this year, but let's walk through this one that you have.
The sketch again, I knew Michael was after some sort of watercolor type technique. At that point, when I was just looking at his sketch and starting the prototype, I really didn't know show concept or anything yet. I had no idea of the box, the grid, how all that was going to play throughout everything. So it was kind of cool once to see it all lay out, all these puzzle pieces that fit together so nicely where one person doesn't need to know that, but this person does, so that whoever orchestrated all of this did a really, really nice job. So yeah, it was all about color and how color plays and spills across the body.
And you'll see, it would have been super easy just to put the grid on and have it be black and call it a day, but you have these faux highlights and the shadow that looks like the chain or the grid is elevated off the surface. Or you could have done it practically with actual threads or whatever.
Right.
And there are a couple different versions. How many did we do?
4, I think.
Could have been
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the drum major's or the conductor's costume is really just an iteration of the color guard. It's got a longer skirt in the back, but you'll see these sequin strips, I believe, are continuous through the conductor.
Is there a hidden chevron anywhere?
Don't believe there is.
Not this year. Okay.
I mean, I think that the front of the core costume, like, it's not a chevron shape, but it is the 3 again. So, so I think that is a twist on that.
A deconstructed chevron.
Yeah.